to put it in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong.
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! And then trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Gleeson! It's a cracker!
Running Armstrong, played in again, and a superb goal!
Tony Goody! Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to the Scarpa War, the Stockport County podcast by fans for fans every week, coming on a Wednesday, 8 o'clock, live and uninterrupted, he says, by spotty internet connections and the like.
Yeah,
it's usually me.
We'll wait and see.
Bloody spoke too soon, Anna. Spoke too soon. Hey, how have you been, mate? I've not seen you since Monday, Tuesday.
Yesterday.
Today,
yesterday. Yeah, I think the last 3 days I spent more time with you than I have with my wife. She's getting a complex.
Yeah, it's been a mad one, hasn't it? I mean, all weekend, Friday was county. It feels like, obviously, Monday was county, then yesterday was county. Claire said to me, she went, it was a bit of a county weekend for you, isn't it? And yeah. I've had some time off, and I'm thinking, I feel a bit guilty. But it's all in the name of county, isn't it? So,
you know. It is. All in the name of the podcast and the county.
Yes, it is. We have got a guest coming on. Just having some technical issues, so we'll get him out as soon as those have thingied. But loads to talk about tonight. Again, obviously we've got the. We could talk about the draw at Peterborough, although the Courtyard Club Call lads did that, so we can probably just cover that slightly. But Huddersfield, we'll talk about that. Look ahead to Lincoln. Still 50-50 whether there's going to be a opposition preview on that. I'm trying to line a couple of podcasts up, but it's really difficult. A bit late in the day now. Obviously, it's Thursday tomorrow. People are at work and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have an injury update and we'll talk about the Sponsors Day at Carrington because they kind of two link in, don't they? We got a bit of an injury update from the players as we were at the sponsors do. So stick around for that. We'll tell you what they said basically, and I don't think we're giving any trade secrets away, are we?
Well, no, because it was either we tell you or one of the 70 other people that were there tell you.
Very true. So yeah, we'll cover that later. Really good day that was, and also we'll talk about the lads. Well, we'll talk about the walk that the lads did. The 5 lads, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raised loads of money, and yeah, I know that's what I was thinking. That when do you remember that? Was it Dusty Bin and
Bin? Yeah, but I was only 3, 2, 1.
It was,
That's showing our age for Saturday night TV.
Yes,
that was our entertainment. A dustbin, robot dustbin.
Was there not a song? Was there not a song? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No?
Was that not an advert for something?
Yeah, it could have been.
I think you did it the wrong way around because you did 2.
I know. The audio listeners won't know what that is. If you want to know what that is, go and watch the YouTube video. Right. Should we get Jay out, who hopefully his internet connections are good? Evening, Jay.
Evening, lads.
You all right?
How does that sound? Is it all right?
Yeah, sounds much better, mate. A lot clearer. Yeah. Nice one.
I was enjoying that little pre-get me out. Enjoyed that.
Proper intro. Just before we start talking about county and that, just to say hello to everybody that's joined us live. There's quite a few more than normal, actually, which is pretty good. So that was good. And just to say as well, massive hello and sort of thank you. We saw yesterday at the Sponsors Day, we saw Richie Mason, who said hello to us. He came all the way up from Wiltshire for it. So, Richie, cheers for saying hello. And he's a Patreon member as well. And we also saw, Waggy, Kelvin Briggs. We chatted to Kelvin Briggs.
Did we?
Yeah, but he didn't tell us his name, but I did some stalking. I mean, research. And yeah. So hello, Kelvin. Thank you for being a Patreon. And thank you for talking to me today.
Is he the winner this month?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I knew the name from somewhere.
Yeah. Pretty sure I've got my stalking right there, and it's Kelvin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good. Jamie, before we move on to the football, how are your legs, mate?
I'd like to say they've recovered, but still a bit sore. Still pretty sore.
How are you and yourself then? Is it just your legs that are aching, or have you got any more ailments?
So going into it, I have a bad back anyway. So that seems to have given me quite a bit of jip towards the evenings, especially because like just the way my posture was going. The second and third night, my knees were starting to go. But yeah, my feet were just everyone's feet. I think just felt like every step was like on lava stones, like that bit before your toes was just
yeah.
And my heels were quite bad, to be fair, because it's hard. Like you try not to limp because you feel that you're doing that to like escape the pain a little bit, but you're just putting it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say I was pain free, but far from it.
Hey,
Yeah.
bit of pain to go through, but what an amazing achievement. Can't take anything away from that. Absolutely brilliant.
Unbelievable, honestly. I don't honestly know where to start with it all, because just the five of us, like the four lads, Dave, Scouse, and Eddie, and obviously you've got Alison, but then just the donations, the different people that have like helped along the way, like Penumbra, halfway down the A6, opened their facilities up for us, who are big county fans. They sponsor some of the matches. All the like businesses on here that have covered hotels, t-shirts, hoodies, everyone that's just well wished us, basically. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, can imagine. But I know obviously you did Blackpool as well, didn't you, at the beginning of the season? So,
Yeah.
How I don't know how to phrase this properly, but how more difficult was it? Was it because I know that was sort of overnight? Did it at the end of it? Did you feel a lot worse after this one, doing 4 days of walking rather than just the 2 days of walking, or would you sort of say?
Great question. It's a great question, because I said to Andy actually on the last leg of the journey, both respectfully in the time of doing them were the worst. It was the worst pain imaginable. But if I remember rightly, it's 60 miles to Blackpool or thereabouts. This was double.
Yeah.
So everything was just like amplified, the pain, the psychological aspects, like, and Andy made a good point. We did that in a day, Blackpool, albeit asleep. So it's two completely different challenges, but I never thought in a million years I'd be able to walk that distance or those distances 4 days consecutively. Pretty, and along with the others, like no one does that every day, every week, no matter how fit you are, no matter what you're doing, and it's, yeah. I'm good for another year anyway.
Yeah, massive well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know it was funny really, because I'd like to think we all struggled, but we all struggled in different moments. It wasn't all the same time. We carried each other through different spells, and obviously I know Scouse and I know Dave Thompson very well, but actually you'd think I'd probably know Dave Wardle and Eddie Owen a bit more, because obviously I'm employed by the club and so are they, but barely ever get to see them. If anything, it's just a high and by in passing, both obviously really busy and stuff like that. So it's just really good to get to know them on a personal level as well, especially Alison as well. Alison was just absolutely phenomenal. To think, because about halfway, about the second day or whatever, I was getting pains in my shoulders as well. And I was just like, why am I getting pain in my shoulders? Because I'm not even wearing a rucksack. But then I thought my posture and stuff like that, if I could only imagine what the pain would have been like having to carry bags, whatnot. And it's funny actually, because Alison, every time I saw her, I made a point of giving her a hug. It just seemed to latch on, and we were having a bit of a laugh and stuff. But there was one particular moment she was gone for 4 hours. She was seeing family and stuff like that. And she said, "You're not going to miss me now, Jamie, are you?" Oh, well, Alison, no, not too much, hopefully. But I forgot I'd put a pack of Jaffa cakes in the cubbyhole. Do you know, the gear stick? Do you know what I mean? And Hannah, bless her, on every single food Tupperware that I took, she wrote little messages. So Ronnie and Reggie can't wait to have cuddles, blah, 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 blah. But one of them said, I miss you. So obviously it was in Alison's car next to her, pointing at her. And I didn't want her thinking I'm absolutely some sort of psychopath. I'm going to miss her that much that I've just decided to quickly scribble, "I miss you," share it on the wall, shove it on some Jaffa cakes. But do you know what? It was such a collective effort, such a team effort. Can't really put it into words or explain or express the pain we were all suffering. And just, it was midway through day 2, Scouse. So we'd all stopped, but Scouse just made a beeline, because he'd seize up otherwise, he said. And if he hadn't have done that, I'd have got comfy in that break. And without him knowing it, it was the best thing for me, because he kept a good pace and it got me through day 2. But day 3, Eddie Owen really, really stuck by me on the final leg, because we were both suffering, but I would probably say I was a bit worse aware, and he really just pulled me through. But on day 2 in the morning at 8:30, when Alison first went past us, I was that close to getting in the car. I don't know why, because Alison pulled up and went, "Do you want to get in?" And I had this look on my face apparently, and I was just so close. And I'm not often proud of myself, to be fair. I'm quite hard on myself, but probably the proudest moment in my life to this day that I didn't get in that car, because I'd have been in hysterics really. But we did it. We all did it.
You did. And how much have you raised so far?
By the way, thanks for all the messages, everybody. Really appreciate it. I last checked and it was 9,100.
Wow.
Yeah, well, the target was free, so each charity was getting £1,000 each. And then I think it was the morning of the second day when we were leaving. God, I can't. Honestly, a lot of things are just a blur. But we changed it to 6. I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, have you got it? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, there you go. 9,398 so far.
Yeah, and you changed
really
it to
good.
£6,000.
It's just ridiculous, that. Honestly, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, brilliant.
Well, isn't that just a testament to what this football club's all about.
Yeah.
Because we did the walk and Ellison supported us, but that is incredible. Like incredible numbers. That's so generous.
It was a lot because it was like a couple of Huddersfield sort of accounts, wasn't there, that posted it saying that if these lads have walked from Peterborough for the Huddersfield game, if you see them or do anything, then you can donate as well. So there's a lot of you got like quite a decent media attention as well, didn't you? Which
absolutely, and just the power of social media and what it can do. Yeah, they all put it out there, but the people that came to see us on the final day, like, we've just walked from Peterborough, but Lyon Park is an incredible distance. Like, let's not forget that, right? Just take the walkers out of the situation. That is a long walk.
Yeah.
So to everybody that met us up there, and even the George and Dragon, Hazel Grove, the Bamford Arms, even Buxton, there was a couple at Buxton. It really distracted us, like, for all the right reasons. Like, we were just wanting to get there, and the weather was right, the support was right, everything just was flowing to Edgeley Park. Brilliant.
Nice.
Brilliant.
What was weird, by the way, just one last note, it was so weird, like my body, because, like, say if I was like just having a general chit chat, or Alison said this, or like whatnot, I genuinely like forget Alison's name, and I know Alison, I know her. Do you know what I mean? My mind just seemed to really shut down and like go really tired and fatigued, which I thought was a bit of a surprise. I didn't really expect that, but I suppose if you're walking for 4 days straight and that amount of miles, and your body's going to take a toll.
Yeah.
Did you find that again? One last point before we get into the match. Did you find that when you were talking and those people joined you for the last bit, you sort of it kind of drifted away? You sort of got to the ground not quicker, but you didn't notice the pain as much, perhaps.
I felt like out of all of it, the final day was my best day, because I was quite ahead for quite a lot of it, but I needed to. And I think I was like this on the Blackpool walk. And I was always going to stop at the Jordan Dragon Bamford because I wanted us all to finish it together. But in terms of me getting to even complete it, I needed to. And it was funny because I said to Andy, I'm staying in view, because not that anyone would, and it's all in my head, but I didn't want anyone to think I got an Uber 50 yards. Oh. Honestly, I got to this point, I was overthinking everything. But the support really, it's a bit of a weird one today. It just lifted us. It just really lifted us and carried us. And they were all dead friendly, dead lovely faces, dead familiar faces. And it was just really nice. I felt a little bit bad because I didn't really stop to chat, because I just needed to plough on. Yeah. But obviously, as I stopped towards the Jordan Dragon, I got that breathing space, and the end was in sight, and I could enjoy it as a collective. And just there was people that I hadn't even met before that were just so lovely. But yeah, big up County.
Big up you.
Yeah, big up you. Was you a bit disappointed? Not disappointed, but was you sad that it ended in the end?
Yeah.
You coming towards Edgeley Park and you're thinking, oh, it's over now.
Do you know, yeah, it's a bit like Christmas, isn't it? There's such a big lead up. I think shops start selling Christmas bulbs and whatever in
now
June and stuff, and then it's over.
Once Easter's finished, there'll be Christmas stuff in the shop.
Yeah, that's how it goes at the moment. But I would lie to you if I don't know how to explain it, but like the feeling of being a mile away from Edgeley Park and walking that mile, and suppose all the attention and recognising the achievements we'd all made. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't want that every day of my life.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. It's a feeling that you don't want to end. And we'd worked immensely hard for that feeling. But yeah, I was sad. But regarding the pain and stuff like that, I'm so glad it's over.
Yeah.
I honestly cannot express. If I wish I could show pain, because I am in it right now. But no, I wouldn't change any of it. The 4 lads that I did it with, Alison, honestly, they're an absolute credit. I love each and every one of them. And boy, that's a bit emotional, but friends for life, honestly. It'll live long in the memory for me.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Massive well done, mate. Massive well done.
Yep.
So, gets to Edgeley Park then, as does whatever you're doing. Did you actually get to see the match?
I did, yeah, actually. I had quite a big family turnout for me. But yeah, do you know, as well, actually, a table of 6 that would do hospitality or whatnot. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm ashamed I don't know the name, actually. But they gifted us a table of 6. I don't know who it is, who it was, and I'm sorry for that, but it was an incredible gesture to allow us to have the last supper, so to speak, like and just kind of like wind down and debrief ourselves and just finish it and close it. It was incredibly kind of whoever that was. So yeah, we got to do that, and bless him, Steve Bellis got us all on stage. He got us to the front of the stage and stuff like that. It was dead funny. And then he was like, "No, come up on the stage." And then it clocked because we couldn't move. Honestly, we couldn't move, and the gap was about that, but it was like stepping onto a train. But yeah, it was funny. He made a right good fuss of us, and at half time as well. It was just amazing to go onto the pitch and just feels a bit stupid because it's like a player would do it, but like I meant every clap because I really appreciated every support, and we all did. It was just a nice ending to be able to walk onto that pitch and just be clapped for doing something.
Full standing ovation from the whole round.
I mean, exactly. It's not often that you get to walk out onto your beloved turf and be appreciated by 10,000 plus people.
Yeah.
And I think if that's a way to end, I'll end there.
And if anybody wants a visual representation of what the pain, some of the pain somebody was in, we're seeing Dave Thompson walk on the pitch.
Oh yeah,
it was like he doubled his age or something.
Do you know,
he was in so much pain.
He is an incredible man, honestly, and I'm sure everybody knows it. He's just a lovely bloke. Will do anything for anyone. They all will. Don't get me wrong. But it was just nice to spend a couple of days with Dave because obviously I only see him in passing at the games and whatnot. So just a brilliant human being.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. So the game then. So we saw the game, 2-1 win, Huddersfield, playoffs secured. I'll come to you first, Jamie. Probably the big question. Do you think the autos are still in reach?
Oh, God, honestly, I thought the autos were in reach at Peterborough. And then that performance, I kind of just thought, ship's probably sailed now. But don't know, keep hearing whispers and like, I was absolutely adamant. I just thought we were going in good form, having played well. We looked fit, strong, no injuries or no new injuries. And I just thought maybe I was getting a bit ahead of myself because I was about to start an absolute trek. But I was like, could be on here because Wrexham are bottlers. And sorry, I had any excuse to say that. And, you know, I won't say anything bad about Wickham because I wouldn't be at all bothered if Wycombe went up. I would like Wycombe to, because I mean they probably want their revenge on us in the playoff semi-finals a few years back, but they're just a nice club, aren't they? They're not so. But I genuinely thought automatics was on, and I'm starting to believe it again because, well, we just do things the county way, don't we? And stranger things have happened in football.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's starting to slip away from me, but it would just be poetic, wouldn't it? If for some reason, in whatever like way it happens, it all comes down to Wycombe on the last day, and we somehow do it, and the others all miss out. That would just be so good.
I think we'll know early on into the games. If not, I think a miracle is going to happen. I think it will happen, but. What's the point in being a county fan if, like, for all the years of hurting, the dark years? I remember nearly crying to my brother against Bradford Park Avenue in the bungalow, for God's sake. And I was like, I don't think we're ever getting out of here. But stuck with it, thick and thin, and here we are competing at the top end of League One.
Yeah.
So, if I think optimism and having that county faith has got us through all those years. What's the point in going to a football game if you haven't got any of it? Yeah. Watch this space, boys. Watch this space.
Let's hope somebody else scores a goal somewhere else that puts us up, and we can finally shake off Glenn Taylor from any discussion.
From winning us the National League North.
Yeah. As somebody pointed out, I think it might have been Dave Philbin actually pointed out online. Can we all just remember it wasn't Glenn Taylor that won it? It was our squad that won it. The players that were.
Yeah, but rumour still has it Dave Philbin's still got his shirt off and he's still in Exeter.
Still running.
I saw him near my brother's house the other day. I went, "You got your top on, Dave, I see." Brilliant. That was a great celebration for a defeat against an Exeter fan.
Waggy, what do you think, mate? You're on the positive train, aren't you? Optimist train. Are you going for the miracle as well?
Yeah, absolutely. While it's still on, it's on. So, did you say there's difficult games? We've got, I'm not saying that Lincoln's an easy game, but it's an easier game. I think we want revenge on Wycombe for earlier in the season of them teaching us how to play football with that 5-0. I think that's the worst. They're the best team that I've seen so far at Edgley Park.
Yeah, I agree.
This year, and I think that we just didn't turn up. So we're going to go there and we're going to turn up. They seem to have just dipped a little bit. As you say, Wrexham again are dipping, but they've got to play Charlton this weekend. I think a lot of it depends for me. I'm still on the optimist that yes, automatics are still achievable. I think a lot of it depends on the Wrexham Charlton result. If Charlton go there and do what they've done to Wycombe, then I see that it's I think it's Charlton finishing second and we're finishing third.
Yeah.
So I think a lot. If that finishes 1-1, if that finishes a draw, then if that finishes a draw and Wycombe lose, then Wrexham are on 87, Wycombe are on 84, we're on 84, and Charlton are on 83. So that just really, So we'd be 3 points. We'd be 3 points behind Wrexham if they draw.
Right.
So ideally, we need Charlton to win, really.
Charlton to win and then lose on the last day, and we win both, and then
Burton are scrapping.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and Bristol Rovers are. And they got a point at the racecourse.
They did, yeah, they did. Maybe we should have done a graphic for this, like the running, perhaps. So who've Wrexham got on the last day then?
Wrexham are away at Lincoln.
So, that's not easy, is it? Going away to Lincoln. Tell you what, you're right. Could be on,
Yay! Yes, we've converted him, Jamie. He's back on the train.
That'll do me, Ross. That'll do me.
Yeah. I'm normally not I would say a pessimist, but normally
realist.
Let's say realist Russ. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be playoffs, and I want to avoid Charlton in the playoffs.
I mean,
but there's this thing as well. If we finish fifth in the playoffs, theoretically we finish fifth in the playoffs, and we do get Charlton, and they finish fourth. We have to go to Charlton away on the Saturday, then, don't we? And it's at home midweek.
No.
Or is that the other way around?
The other way around. The team that finishes above gets the second leg is at home.
See, I'd rather it, what you said the first time, Ross. I'd rather be at home midweek.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So if Charlton finish above us, then they would be at home on the Saturday.
No, they finish above us, the second leg. Whoever finishes third or fourth, the home leg is the second leg. So it's the midweek game is at home. The Saturday game would be.
Oh, is the Saturday game the first game?
Saturday game is the first game. Yes, so it's the 9th of May, is it 9th or 10th of May? And then the midweek is the second fixture.
Right. Well, don't worry about it. We're just going up automatically. So.
Well, yeah, we're going to be second anyway, so clip that. Go on, clip it.
Well, I mean, just to drop a little one in, I'm sure we could say this. Obviously, speaking with Bate yesterday, and we talked about this, didn't we? And you said
we did, yeah.
Because that carrot's still there, it's like, yes, we can still do it. In a way, we've secured it, but he'd rather sort of, in a way, would rather it have been there's no carrot there dangled. It is you are in the playoffs, and then we can fully focus that we are going to be in the playoffs. But with that carrot still being there, of you can possibly get automatics, then obviously you dream to believe.
I feel like this is a tubes moment for Soccer AM. You got one question and one question only. Can I?
I love it.
Can I ask you two a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, by the way, it looked amazing going to Carrington yesterday. And with that, what is mood like? With speaking to some of the players, are they set on second?
Yes.
Still up for it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the ones that we spoke to the most, I mean, we might as well talk about the Sponsors Day now a bit, aren't we? So if you tuned in for that, that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, we spoke to, the main one we spoke to were Bate and Diamond. That's who I spoke to the most anyway. I think probably the same for you as well, Waggy. We did the same.
Yeah, we had a bit of a chat with Adai as well, and a bit of a chat with Powell, and quite a few of the other sort of injured players. But yeah, main people we spoke to was Diamond and Bate. Yeah, really good conversation with Bate, and really enjoyed that.
Yeah, Bate. I could have sat there for another hour with Bate.
It was only because Jimmy came and interrupted us.
I know. Yeah. Well, no, to answer your question, Jay. They were just like, yeah, we just got to keep on going. We're up for it, but we can do it. Why not? Kind of thing. And they spoke a bit about the other teams around us and things like that. It was just really, really good.
Very positive. Very positive throughout.
Cool. Good.
Yeah. Well, it was a brilliant day. We messaged beforehand and said that we'd probably be pleasantly disappointed with it, which I thought was quite a good phrase. That it was thought it would be all right, but it'd come away smiling, but still a bit like, oh, right, okay. But no, it was absolutely brilliant. The way that the setup and everything. Had a little speech by Simon Wilson, didn't he? He had a really good speech, explained how the staff work at Carrington, how they've obviously brought the scholars up there, and the developing other pitches for all those guys and stuff. It was just brilliant, and you can see. I mean, God knows what it would have looked like to any National League player that was coming there to sign for us. Because even League One, I was walking around going, this is well impressive. This is really impressive. And then we went out onto the training pitches, and they've got the training pitch that the first team generally train on is exactly the same grass as Edgeley Park. It's exactly the same. They've got like the 4G pitch is exactly the same surface.
Quite clever that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really, really just a little sort of thing just to think of that, yes, this will improve how we play.
I wonder if a lot of football clubs do that.
I think
they will do now.
Yeah,
I think
I
they
would
will
think
do
so.
now.
Yeah.
If they've got a training ground, you know what I mean? If they're playing in a local school or something, then they won't have, will they?
No.
Wrexham.
Yeah. I mean, it really, really impressed me. I've got the only two things I've got to compare it to. I've only ever been to two other training grounds. I think I have. I might have been to three actually, but one was Accrington, so we'll forget about that. But I've been to United's because my lad had a bit of a session there, and I went to Sheffield United's because County Ladies played there. Man United, obviously, that's Cat 1. Whatever you want to call it, it's not a Cat 1, is it? Sorry, but it was all singing, all dancing. It had a big building, the same size as counties for the first team, and then one for like reserves and second team and youngsters and all that. So it was just a poles apart. But Sheffield United, ours was on a par with Sheffield United's, I would say. I would definitely say that. So that's what I compare it to, and it was just fantastic. The whole setup, and they've not finished. And the thing, I was speaking to Steve Bellis as well. The thing that's quite remarkable about it is that's not our final place.
No.
Yeah. Mark Stock wants something in the borough that is where it's all encompassing. It probably can be used during the week, in the evenings and this kind of thing. And can you imagine what that's going to be like? It's just so much. I get hairs on the back of, they stand up on the back of my neck when I start thinking about it. Yeah, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, as you say, it's a long-term rental, isn't it? But we've developed that, and made it our own. And it was just like, it was so impressive. But it was just everything about it. The way that it was laid out, and it just sort of everything flowed, sort of thing. They have the big chill out area, and right next to that is the briefing room. So they all got called into the briefing room, and they had like frosted glass, didn't they? But you could still see them analysing the game, analysing the Huddersfield game, and going through and talking about that. So there was that, and then you come out the back of that, and then you go straight down into the changing rooms and the physio area and stuff, and then straight out the back, and you're onto the pitches. So yeah, it's just the whole flow of the place was brilliant.
In both of your opinions, be most impressive about it, if you could choose one?
For me, I'd say the pitch.
I was going to say that's mine as well. When we walked out on the, honestly, you could have put in a golf ball. It was that good. It was like on the side of the green, like sort of fairway. It was brilliant. The pitch was just like chef's kiss.
That's a bit fitting because aren't they bringing Happy Gilmore 2 out, lads?
I don't think he's playing in Carrington.
Dunco has said, did we get to see the fines board and was Powell on it? I didn't see the fines board. I wasn't really looking at it. I saw the fine, the what do you call it, wheel, whatever it is. Yeah,
the wheel of misfortune.
Wheel of misfortune, yeah.
But we know we didn't actually see the fines board.
No, there was a quite a funny moment though, because we went upstairs, or we went over to where Simon Wilson was, and Thingy's office as well. Damien Allen's office was next to Simon Wilson's, and then outside of that, you've got all of the hot desk where I guess the performance analysts and all that kind of stuff. They sit there and they were doing all their thing as well. And then on the other side, you had the coaching staff's room, and then Charlie's manager's office. And in the coaching staff room, Clint Hill were there, and Mason, is it Andy Mason? He was there. Andy Mangan, sorry. They were there, so they were doing their thing. And someone said, lads, is it okay I take a picture? And Clint Hill went, yeah, of course you can. We'll just have to pretend that we're working. And then so they all got their heads down.
He's lovely, Clint Hill. Really lovely guy.
Yeah, he was good. Andy Margan was it Mangan?
Andy
Mangan, yeah, he's brilliant as well.
He was good when we was waiting for them to start doing the training session. He got into the nets and got like the kids up and said, right, you've each got 5 shots to try and get past me. I think he saved 1 out of like 20, 25.
Yeah, this young lad, he was just pinging him into the top corner. Have that.
It was quite funny because he pinged 2 into the bottom left corner. So Andy's like, yeah, I've got you. So he rolls the ball out to him again and then moved that way and he just pinged it into the top right. And he just went, oh, yeah, you just proper did me there.
It's nice to know we've got hot prospects coming through.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And we saw Nick Powell and Maka. They were doing their own little session. So that they were back on the grass, if you like, as were the others. So we saw Mika Hamilton, didn't we? He was there. All the squad players that are not fully injured and didn't feature in the Huddersfield game.
They were all training, weren't they? So
they were all training.
The team, anybody that played on Friday or Monday, didn't actually train. But obviously, you're not going to do that because it's the day after a heavy weekend. But all the players were still there. They were all still in the lounge and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah.
So
getting the massages and things, weren't they?
And we turned up and got a full English breakfast as well. So absolutely cracking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was sound. It was really, really good. And the day before, we beat Huddersfield. So let's go back to that game then. Oh, yeah. Getting carried away with the going to Carrington. But yeah, so yeah, beat Huddersfield. What did you think of the general performance then? Do you think it was a bit stop-start, a bit stuttery, or worthy of the 3 points?
Maggie?
I think overall, in the end, it was worthy of the 3 points. I think you could tell from the first minute what they were trying to do. They didn't seem to me as if a team that had just come down from the Championship. I know they've not had a very good season and that, but they seemed to be a team that were struggling to stay in the league. The way they just slowed everything down from minute one, the keeper taking, goal kicks. There were a couple of times, like after 15 minutes, where he stopped and didn't pick the ball up when it got passed to him, and it's like the throw-ins and just everything about it. They just slowed the game down and we sort of fell for it. Instead of us, for me, we just needed a bit more tempo and stuff. And then I think in that second half, because again, Charlie changed the system quite early on, didn't he? I know we went from a back four to a back three. And that didn't make a bit of a difference. But then again, the substitutes, the changing formation again to combat it. The second half, we just looked good. I think we created a few decent chances in the first half, but just couldn't finish it off, basically. And yeah, as someone said there, Norwood was outstanding. He was just amazing. And a couple of times, I think we go back to when we first signed Powell in League Two. He pinged a couple of balls out. I think he pinged a ball out to the left-hand side. And if Tanto would looked as if he was going to go, and he didn't, and it made it look like
it looked like a bad ball.
But if Tanto would have gone, it'd have been like pinpoint, and Tanto would have been in. And I don't know if you noticed, he gave Tanto a right rollicking after that to saying, you should be doing that. You should be. And I think it's just, again, talking with the boys yesterday, with some of the squad yesterday, just the level that he plays at, he just drags us up. And yeah, I think the second half we were much better, much deserved it. I think we could have scored 4 or 5 in the end.
I think it's interesting what you said about Norwood, Waggy, because I feel like Powell was the same. Because he played at such a high level, it looked as if Powell was shit. He wasn't.
Yeah.
People just weren't on his radar.
Yeah.
He was seeing things that, like, you're just thinking, what? And if I suppose he's had to bring his game down a little bit. Same with Norwood.
I wouldn't necessarily say bring his game down. It's just trying to bring people up to understand what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Because I think you say, like last season when Lemonade Evans came back, he seemed to have a really good connection, and you could see Powell looked a lot better because Lemonade Evans knew what he was going to do and would anticipate that ball's going to go there because it's gone to Powell. And I think a lot of that now is what we're starting to see. Norwood settled into how League One plays, but now it's like bringing other people up because although he's not, and I think Charlie said in his post-match that he's not vocal in his leadership, he speaks with his feet.
Yeah.
and that's the type of player he is. But he's still vocal. He was still rollicking everybody and pulling people wherever saying, you get there, you move there. And it's as if he's been at county for years and years and years, isn't it? His celebration after the first goal, his celebration after that. I mean, that's probably one of the best knee slides we've had this year.
yeah. It's between him and Santo, isn't it? But Norwood's dead balls as well, though. I know obviously he scored the penalty, which was good, but the corner, got the assist for the corner for Horst, didn't he?
Yeah.
His corners are just lethal, and they're on. I hate the phrase, but they're on point, aren't they? Almost every time. Yeah,
and the majority of the time, his set pieces, they're on the right on the button, aren't they? Where it needs to be, or he's not far off from shooting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
He always puts them into an area where someone should at least be. And from an attacking perspective, it's like a dream to have those balls being put into the box.
Yeah.
I think we've been dead lucky over the years, especially obviously since 2013, 2014. We've had some really good set piece takers at the club, haven't we? And corners, I've always felt like under Jim, maybe not under Simon Rusk, but certainly under Jim and under Charlie, we've had some really good set piece takers where you kind of like, oh, we're really expecting something, especially when you've got likes of Palmer in the middle, and now we've got Horse.
Yeah,
it just lends itself to maybe not scoring as many corners as we should, really, given the firepower, but really excited when we do get a corner.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how Brecky goes with dead ball set pieces or situations, because if you look at the Northampton header, the header on Saturday, in play, his heading is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I just wonder how he'll fare in amongst like your Brad Hills, your Horsfalls, or opposition defenders that are pretty tall, because he's not the tallest, is he? So, and he's a great finisher with his head as it is. So it'll just be interesting to see if he gets a few goals and stuff like that from dead ball situations. But
we'll see. But I think that, and again, speaking with the squad yesterday, a lot of them were saying that he's the most natural finisher that any of them have seen. He's absolutely amazing. So I think maybe not getting the headers in and stuff like that from set pieces, but he's going to be there for second balls. If it gets nodded down or deflected or whatever, then he's going to be that person that's going to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. But if there's a cross into the box, say from a break or a phase of play when it's not a set piece, he's not shy of getting his head onto it, is he? As we've seen, he's proved that already.
And that ball from Norwood for the penalty.
Yeah.
The outside of his peg, it was just like unbelievable.
Yeah. He's he's only going to get better. There's some comments coming in. Let's have a look. So Liam Walker, IM8, give Benny time. He's learning. So he's just going to get better and better, isn't he? And that was part of the conversation with Bate as well yesterday, wasn't it, about Benny, and talk about the different kind of goals he can score. And Lewis Bate was just like, he's just like class, wasn't he? So unbelievable stuff. Lincoln on Saturday then. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll rather, before we get to Lincoln on Saturday, bit of an injury update then, because we spoke about this, but for every player that we spoke to, pretty much, wasn't it, Waggy? Because they were all like, we spoke to a lot of the injured ones. They were all saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Waggy, they're all expected to be back by the playoffs.
Yes, some of them were pinpointing Wickham, some of them were maybe saying Lincoln, but basically, pretty much the only one I don't think we spoke to was Rydell. I don't remember hearing anything about Rydell.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't speak to Rydell.
Yeah, so Camps, Powell, who else? Bate. Yeah, Bate. Macca said it as well. Who else have we got out? Pye said that he'd be definitely back. He reckoned he'd be back for the Wickham game.
Micah
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Micah Hamilton was fully training.
So. Yeah, he was doing a full session. So that would suggest to me that he's either coming back or he's fully back. Yeah. So all those players were saying, and we had a bit of discussion. I did with Jimmy. I'm not sure if you were there, Waggy, but I had a discussion with Jimmy about this this data that we've got, and players saying they're ready to be back, but the data is saying that they're not. And I think Challoner's mentioned this before in some of his pre and post match, hasn't he? And I said to Jimmy, well, that can go the other way as well, though, because the player could say, I'm just not ready yet. I can't feel it. But the data is telling them that you are ready. So it kind of works both ways. It's a really interesting thing. I wonder how they work that.
I'm trying to think, if you're a professional footballer, I've never heard of a professional footballer say, I want to sit on the bench.
No, but I suppose if it's circumstantial, and we're doing well. We're fifth in the league. Everything's rosy, I would say, at the moment, and everyone seemed really happy. I can imagine if you're in a losing team, you're getting shit off the fans, and you've got an injury, and it's been 6 to 8 weeks. It's been 8 weeks, and the manager's saying, "Well, you're ready to come back now," and you're going, "Just give it another week." I can imagine that's the scenario. I'm not saying it's any of our players, or it's ever been any of our players, but I can imagine that is a thing, because we're only human at the end of the day, aren't we? You don't want to go to bloody, I don't know.
But again, I suppose, but it goes back to, if you go back 10 years, then you're relying more on what the player says rather than data, because the data wasn't available. So, but now you've got much better sort of mental support. So it's a case of, yes, your data says you're ready to play, but your head says you're not. So do we sort of err on and say, okay, we'll leave you for a week, but you're going to be playing the week after, type of thing? So it is a balance, isn't it? Because
it's like what Kelly says in some of his interviews, like if we really need to risk it, we'll, but if we can avoid the risk, we will, and just
bring them back gradually.
Yeah.
Like
if we're to bare bones, do you know what I mean? But
yeah. And that's how it happens. It snowballs, doesn't it? If you bare bones, you have to rush players back, and they just get injured quicker, don't they? But if you've got strength in depth like we have. On to Lincoln then. I mean, Lincoln are... I'd say, well, the league position suggests they're just above halfway, which they are. They're 11th, played 44. They've got 61 points, plus 11 goal difference, 62-51. They've won 3 of the last 5 games and drawn 2 of them. So they're not in bad form themselves. I'll be honest, I don't know too much about Lincoln. The last time I knew anything about Lincoln, Simon Yeo played for him. So anybody know anything about Lincoln?
Yeah. I have no idea who that guy you just mentioned is.
Simon Yeo. Well, he used to play for Lincoln. He's from, I think he's, I know who he is, but I knew who he was before I tell you why in this little story. So he was always on football Championship Manager when I used to play it as a kid in the 90s, right? Oh, he played for Lincoln, and he was shit hot for Lincoln. Used to bag all the time, proper bagsman. Turns out, get to my age now, start going to football with my mate Dave Whitehead and his lad Ellis, and it's only Dave Whitehead was Simon Yeo's best man at his wedding.
You're having a laugh?
No, true story, bro.
It's
honestly.
so weird.
Yeah, I know that's not weird. Yeah, because I remember he saying to me, he went, do you know Simon Yeo? I was like, yeah. Like Championship Manager, Championship Manager hero. Anyway, yeah, back to today, really. Yeah, I don't know who's still there. I get this wrong all the time. I just read off what's on FOTMob, but yeah, I mean, they seem. I mean, the fact that they've not lost in the last 5, they've beat Bolton 4-2 recently. They beat Huddersfield. They got a draw against Charlton. So it's not going to be as easy as we probably say, as we probably think, I mean. But I'll let you two positive lads.
It'll be interesting to see what away support they bring, because they've got a relatively good turnout at home and they're quite loud. That's got nothing to do with the game, by the way. Sorry.
No, but again, but I suppose if they travel well, but I think that helps us. If they travel well, if they've got quite a decent and they're quite noisy, I think that hopefully that lifts us up. And again, it's our last game of the season, so I'm hoping that the atmosphere is good.
Yeah,
I think everything that we're doing, I think we can have an average first half. We can go a goal down. We can. I won't quite.
No, none of that.
But what
Can't
I mean
do
is,
that.
we can have an average half. We can go goal down, and we can bring it back. We can have a good. We've got players that are impacting the game off the bench.
No, I hate going a goal down. Why can't we go 3-0 up and give a goal away?
This is very true.
I totally agree with you. I don't like going a goal down, and not in the manner. It's totally against the
way you showed it, Waggy.
No, what I'm saying is that if we go a goal down, we can still come back and win. We've still got that resilience. Players to be able to change the game for us, to be able to do that. And again, we've you look at Challoner's record as a manager for the last 14 years of never finishing outside the playoffs. But he's admitted himself, he is still learning. And we've seen the difference between Dave Challoner in his first game of League Two as a league manager for us against his last game against Huddersfield as a League One playoff, manager. The difference in him as a coach, as a manager, is night and day. And that will only get better. As I say, we all said when we first got into the League Two, we didn't have a plan B. We had one way of playing, and that was pretty much it. We couldn't play without Wotton in the team. And then the second season, Wotton wasn't in the team, and we was like, when he came back, we can't play with Wotton in the team because we'd changed our style. But now he can change it, and he changes it 4 or 5 times to combat whatever the other team's doing.
He changed it after 10, 15 minutes, didn't he, the other day? So,
yeah.
He completely changed it. Mark Morley's made a good point. We should have put 2 and 2 together and done this ourselves, really. As a County fan, all you need to know is that Lincoln lose to us on Saturday, and then they beat Wrexham on the last day because they'll be so angry at losing to us.
But did somebody else, was it last week that somebody put that whenever we've played Lincoln as the last home game of the season, we have been promoted? Wow,
that's a stat.
I think we've only played them as the last home game twice. I think one was in 1936 or something like that.
Yeah, 150 odd year history or whatever it is.
I think we did it. We've done it. I'm pretty sure that was a fact that's come out, and I think it's either 2 or 3 times that when we've had Lincoln as the last home game, we have been promoted.
How does that song go? Can we play you every last home game of the season?
There's the pod title.
Yeah, can we play you every last home game of the season? Final one on this then, before we get on to getting reses. Gazendo, here it is. It's all laid out for us here, right? So we win our last 2. Wickham lose their last 2. Wrexham, Charlton draw this weekend. Charlton win their last, and Wrexham lose their last. We finish second.
Gazendo, thanks for coming, Paul. Lots of love.
Yeah, that's what we need to happen.
What a guy.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right. Do you know what? I've not got any game. I thought of one the other day, and I thought that can get in the res. I'm pretty sure I said it to you, Waggy, on Monday.
I've got a good one.
I can't remember what it is, but
no, I don't think you did. I don't remember any reses.
Right. Anyway, let's do game reses.
Get in the reses.
Come on, get in reses.
Get in the reses.
Get in reses. That's rubbish. Get in reses.
I'm not having that. Get in reses.
There we go. I have got a getting reses from one of our patrons. Annie D has sent in. She sent in 2 game. I think it's 2 game reses. I'll do these first if that's all right.
By the way, I'll never tire of watching that game reses.
It's good, isn't it? Some people don't like it. It's like Marmite, that little thing.
I still can't hear myself in it. I don't know where I am.
You're definitely in it.
I'm definitely in it. I know. Yeah. I remember recording 15 minutes worth of getting the reses.
Yeah.
For a 15-second clip.
Yeah. That's what happens in that's entertainment. You do all that recording and then only get a tiny little bit in. Right, get your getting reses into the chat and we'll read them out. But Annie D has sent a getting reses. What do we plan for throw-ins? Because it just does not work. No one ever seems to, I guess, pull up for the ball. Is that something that you've noticed? Are we bad at throw-ins? I know. We're under Jim, he was dead big on that, wasn't he, about ball retention at a throw-in? Because how many do you have?
Always been shit had throw-ins, always. No matter what team, no matter what year, shite.
What county?
Yeah. I
don't know. I think under Jim, I think we were pretty good. I think we were better than maybe we are now. I don't know.
I think when you talk, well, I think with Jim, he used to have 3 or 4 or maybe 5 players that were close to where the throw-in was being taken, so that you could move them people around quite quickly and get the ball close to them. Whereas now, it seems as if we seem to sort of step back, and there's only sort of 2 players that keep going forward and coming back, and then it ends up getting thrown as long as they can down the line for a Wotton to head on or a Tanto to head on. So, yeah, but again, apart from, and what's really surprised me this season, just along that lines, is how many teams in League One have a long throw. I thought it was dead and done and dusted. I thought that was non-league, was the long throws, but it seems every team's got a person that can do a long throw. And we don't seem to have that. Obviously, Charlie's not passed down the mantle to anybody, has he? He's not done the Jedi training yet.
No. The last one we had was Miles Hippolyte, wasn't it?
Yes.
Everyone just
came out of nowhere.
Every football club to exist just, I want to be a Ben Tosser. Oh, Tozer.
No, you was right the first time.
Russ isn't too happy about it.
He's concentrating.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah,
I was reading the message.
On something else, Jamie. Don't worry, you can't do 2 things at once.
I was reading. You're absolutely right. I can't. I was reading some of the getting the reses that people were writing. Sorry. Couple of getting the reses then. So I didn't miss this one. Vic Clegg, by the way. Norwood's knee slide was almost in the reses. There we go.
Yeah, I see that. That's good.
Rumor has it he's still sliding.
I know. Yeah, it's like one of those things, one of those memes where he just slides forever.
Yeah, like, you see Neymar when he's doing his rolling.
Yeah, his rolls. Yeah.
Do you ever remember that Sol Campbell never-ending slide tackle at Wembley?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Horrific. Probably the highlight of his career, really.
Yeah, I listened to him on the Overlap. He was with like Gary Neville and Roy Keane and that. I'm not a United fan. I hate United, but that's a pretty good listen. Sol Campbell, he was a bit weird, Sol Campbell. He was just a bit, don't know. Have a listen. Make up your own mind. But he was, a bit weird. Jay, what's your getting the reses, mate?
My brother Andy. I'm joking. Andy, if you're watching, you're listening, I love you. Don't worry, I'll pat you dry with a towel. Nah, it's not that. What was it now? 115-mile walks.
Well, at the end of it, would you not want to walk straight into the reses to cool off?
To be fair, had the thought crossed my mind, I genuinely think I'd be in there, scooping out all the Jacko balls from previous seasons.
Get rid of all the newts so we can have get rid of all the newts so we can have a new stand.
Yeah.
Brill. Have you got any Waggy before I read some out? Or
yes, I'm going to say watching the Peterborough game. I was streaming the game, listening to JK with his usual waffle, and enjoying his waffle.
Oh, okay.
That's straight. So anyway, so we're doing that, and then after something like 76 minutes, it changed to the Peterborough commentators.
Oh, right.
So it changed to the Peterborough commentators, and they decided during the game on 76 minutes that between them they would try and create a first 11 of posh players that were to do with gardening.
What are you talking about?
What?
So what they wanted to do was they wanted we needed a goalkeeper that has something to do with gardening. So they were trying to look for somebody like something fork or something lawnmower or something grass. That's what they were looking at. Anything to do with gardening or gardens, they were looking, and they were openly, 2 of them were discussing it while the game was going on. And I'm like, what am I listening to here? There's a game going on.
Yeah.
But you know what? Thank God I go to every single away game because I couldn't be dealing with
Oh, it was absolutely terrible. And then suddenly, I mean, I suppose I'm quite disappointed because I didn't get to hear the 11. It switched back to JK.
Are you sure it was a Peterborough commentator and not Andy? Because isn't he a guy?
Oh, Andy would have been all over it. He'd have just gone ding, 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 and just rattled them up. Funny.
There you go. Look, Cash Shanley, Tim Flowers. There you go. There's one.
Yeah. But it was as Tim Flowers played for Peterborough. That's what that was even worse. Is they were trying to make it as players that had played for.
Played for County, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, a first 11 that had played for Peterborough. Yeah. And now it's like that is absolutely.
Hey, no one comes close to Brad Hills if you've got a hill in your garden.
Oh, I like it.
Right, let's stop it.
Let's stop now. Yeah. You don't want to get to bed tonight. Right, there's some getting the reses here. Some I won't say controversial, but anyway, I don't know some of these anyway. But so Gazendo again, whoever penned the Jack Diamond song can get in the reses. I'm not sure.
Do you know I liked it? Sorry, Gazendo, I loved you, and I still do. Let's be clear, I love you, Gazendo, whatever your name is, but nah, quite liked that.
Fair dues.
The more it got sung as well, I quite liked it.
I think it was a little oversung on Monday, but I think that was because they were trying to get everybody to
Diamond, to Sunderland.
Right. No, that's so they've been discussing it on the Edgerley Club coaches.
Yes. And he plays in Royal Blue.
Right. Okay. Fair dues. We've got quite a few to get through here, actually. So strap in, everybody. Vic Clegg again. The speaker at the top of the steps from the Cheadle end to the courtyard can get in the resin. It's deafening.
Who is this Vic Clegg guy? He's hilarious.
I know, he's a legend, isn't he? Yeah. Do you know what? That's reminding me of what my getting the resin is.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to sound... I'm right. Disclaimer, I'm 44. I don't feel that old. But when the singing comes on in the courtyard, it's too fucking loud. So I have to go. I can't hear myself speak or anything. So they're very good singers. Don't get me wrong. They're very good, talented. But I have to go and have a pint away, in the corner, because otherwise I can't hear what people are saying.
No, we have to go to the concourse. Once they start singing, we go to the concourse. Yeah, it's just you don't go and stand in the corner. You go to the concourse.
Yeah, we just have to go to the concourse. Yeah. There you go. That's my getting reses.
Recent away followings. I'm thinking Barnsley, Rotherham, Huddersfield. Filling the railway end and not hearing a peep. That can all get in the reses.
Yeah, certainly Huddersfield. They only did that once they scored, and then as soon as we equalised, they went quiet again.
Yeah,
great for us, but ridiculous. It's shocking. What on earth is going through your head an away game?
Where was you sat then? Was you in the Cheadle end?
I was in the Cheadle end, yeah.
Yeah, I think because we've heard this a few times. I think is that one because the railway end hasn't got a roof on, is that a lot of it gets drowned out because of the Cheadle end. But these people have been sat in the pop side and the main stand that are a bit further closer to them and said those fans were unreal. They were noisy all game.
Yeah, but you can usually hear something.
Yeah.
Not nothing for 90 minutes. I've not got that bad here.
I think they had a drummer as well, didn't they?
Yes.
I think they had a drummer. Huddersfield had a drummer. And I think I only heard him when they'd scored.
Yeah.
I know there was some sort of bloody trumpet going off.
Oh, that was like the corner at the main stand, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. How's it go?
It's a one-off performance. You're not getting it again.
Yeah. But do you know what though? Fair play to Huddersfield for filling it as much as they did, because Stockport station was closed on Monday, wasn't it? So they weren't getting in by train. I think that's
right.
And considering where they are as well, like they're not really hopeful of the playoffs, if you ask everyone, to be honest. So fair play.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Mark Morley's come in. Kenny Boxshaw's away fans announcement can get in the reses. I think we did that one last week, didn't you? So turn left and lead the way you came in.
Putting the reses prior to that as well, so it's well and truly drowned. And
Do you know, ever since he's... Sorry, Waggy, go on.
No, I was just going to say, when we spoke to Kenny in one of the special pods, if you want to watch that, you can catch this. But he did say that he has to say what he's put in front of him. And as part of the health and safety regulations, that is what he is told to say.
Yeah,
the guy works
for free.
The guy works for free as well. Come on.
Yeah.
But ever since that script has like been that way, I always in my head think he's going to say, whatever it is, just turn around the way you came and fuck off. All the time, the way it's said, all the
time. I would love it if he did actually. If he could say that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
The day he retires, that's what he's going to say.
Yeah. It's like Anchorman, isn't it? Like just reading whatever's in front of him. San Diego. Just going to read whatever's in front of him. And I think, I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, Dave White, I was with him. He bought me one. £5, 80 bottles of Carling at Peterborough that can get in the reses. That absolutely can. That's what it was.
Can I ask? Apparently, full-time favourites. They said it was £7 for a sausage roll.
At Peterborough.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. I didn't buy
Well,
it.
if that's the case, that can get in the reses.
Yeah. Sounds a bit much, that, doesn't it? I can imagine 450 for
a sausage
maybe.
roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Phil Lloyd agrees with me. There you go. Cheers, Phil. Thank you for that. You can't hear yourself think. Yeah, they're very good. Don't get me wrong. But I like to have enough. It's just bad. If I sound like my dad like 20 years ago.
So you're 20 years older than your dad.
No, my dad 20 years ago was 55 and he was like that, I'm 44. Anyway, right. I think we're just about done. So, I think so. Just to let everybody know, and we'll tell everybody this as well next week and the week after, and that we will be going through the playoffs as that comes around. If we go up, then it's going to be a bit less. And then we're going to have a bit of a break, but we will be putting out special pods to everybody and stuff for Patreons as well. The odd sort of special interview here and there. So that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. And then probably other bits and bats. So if you're not a Patreon member and you want all this ad-free and to be part of our giveaway, got some good prizes coming up, do get onto our Patreon and subscribe. £3 a month plus VAT. You get it all ad-free and... yeah, you'll be supporting the podcast.
Can I just thank you both for having me on? It's been great chatting to you, lads.
There was no way that we weren't having you on this week, Jamie.
No,
you did. So yes, you are
really
more
appreciate it.
We were meant to have Andy on as well, but we said to him, "No, sack it off. We just want Jay on."
We want the nice Reading on.
I won't comment.
Oh, it's all right. I'm sure your brother will.
No, I really appreciate it, lads. It's always good chatting to you both.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, cheers to everybody for listening. Cheers to everybody for watching. And we will see you. Well, not me, but Waggy will see you next week with a star-studded guest lineup. Oh, and don't forget as well, if you're still watching and you're still listening, next season we've got Mike Flynn joining us every single month for a podcast to talk about county and the footy. That's Bob on that, isn't it?
Just before, just come to me. On the walk, Dave Thompson came up with a song. Lewis Bate. He's got more gin than Mickey Flynn. Lewis Bate.
That's
judging by your reaction, that says
Yes.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get that on the terrace. I like
you're
that.
welcome, Dave, for that.
Let's just wait for a few seconds, see if it gets Gazendo's seal of approval. No, we'll close it there. Right. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Jay. Cheers, Waggy. Speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers,
you.
lads. Bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts, and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and more. You can find us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!